Hi everybody, and welcome to the video. Today let's talk about Ubuntu 2004. It's out and in the wild, so I'm going to install it in a VM and take a look. Come with me and let's check it out. Alright, so we're on the desktop here. This is in a VM with 3 gigs of RAM for full disclosure on how this is going to work. So if it's a little sluggish or something, that could just be the VM. But it seems to be pretty smooth by my taste. So we can come in here, we can look around, and we can do things like we can go to the desktop, we can look at documents, downloads. This is a brand new install that I've only minorly tested out and tweaked. Really, the only thing I have done so far is I did go into the settings, and in there I did go into appearances and set the dark theme up, as you can see here. By default, it looks like this. We're going to wait for it to switch here. By default, Ubuntu 2004 looks like this as far as theming goes. But you can also have it look like this, which looks kind of similar. And then you can do dark. So basically standard is a mix between light and dark. Dark is obviously completely dark and light is completely light. I like a dark theme, so I went with this. I think it looks pretty stylish, and there it is. So we can take a look around. We can look at the store here, the Ubuntu Software Center, which is based, as far as I know, still on the GNOME software app. So let's let that load up here. Again, it's a VM, so if things are slow, that's just to be expected here. And just so everyone's aware, this is probably going to be a long video. So sit back, get your favorite beverage and a snack, and let's enjoy and check out the new Ubuntu LTS together, shall we? But anyway, it's going to go ahead right now and check for the software catalog and see what's in there. And so that's going to reach out to the internet and take a few moments here. So we're going to just stand by. While it's doing that, let's take a look around the system. This is a minimal install, by the way. So I didn't install everything. So you can see with the minimal install, if I go to all applications here, the only thing I have installed on here right now is Kdenlive. I did install Kdenlive on here because I wanted to see what version they were going to ship with. And they are shipping with 19.3.12, I believe it is, or 19.12.3, sorry, 19.12.3, I believe it is. And so we'll take a look at that in a minute here and confirm that. But anyway, here's the store. And this, as far as I know, I believe is just powered by Snap now. My understanding is that might be a bug. I seem to remember there being a bug that was causing that, so this may not be permanent. But for right now, this is, as far as I know, Snap related, and so we can confirm that by going to Kdenlive. You can see it says install, and that's because I didn't install the Snap version. I installed the apt version from the command line. Now, apt is still here in the command line. If you're like me and you don't really use snaps very much, you can still install stuff from the command line, but as you can probably tell, Ubuntu and Canonical are definitely heading towards a snap future where everything is a snap. And so, depending on your opinion, that's either a good or a bad thing. I'm kind of mixed on it. I think there's good things about Snap and there's bad things about Snap. So, but anyway, so this is the software center here and everything. We can go over and look and see what it says it's installed. So let's see. Oh, and now over here it actually reflects that Kdenlive's installed. And that kind of makes me wonder if it is a snap, because my understanding is this is only reflecting snaps right now. It may not be. Like I said, this is not a researched out video. This is just me hanging out with you. So, let me know in the comments if I got something wrong. Like I said, not a detailed thing. Let's take a look at this. Oh, well, hold on. What is it? Is it... I thought there was, let me look at the help, because I thought that there was list, because I wanted to see what programs was there. Let's see. Maybe it's, okay, let's see. Hold on. I'm checking this out here. Let's see. Basics list info. Okay, so did I type, oh, I think it's without the tax, maybe. Let's try that. Yeah, okay, there we go. Okay, so yeah, this is actually, I take that back. It is reflecting in here the app packages. So that's good. I did update this the other day, so maybe that update fixed it here. I'm very excited to see that it looks like that they are reflecting apt images, or not apt images, but apt packages in here, right? APT packages, apt packages. So thought I might have confused somebody there for a minute because it's kind of sounded like I said app images, but that's not what I meant to say. Anyway, so looks like that this is the system applications that are here, and it looks like we might be able to install these from in here, and no, we can't. So apparently you can uninstall these. So Interesting. I'm sure you probably can with like the snap command. I don't know though. Maybe not. Maybe it's part of like one of these snaps up here, or maybe it's just an app package. I'm unclear. I know that they were shipping the calculator and some other stuff as snap packages in 1804. Maybe they rolled that back, which I would prefer myself. So, but anyway, looks like that's the case. Let's take a look at the kernel it's running. For all those out there that care about the kernel, let's take a look. It's running 5.4, all right, and revision 26. So there you go. So 5.4.0, revision 26 generic. So that's what it's running. Pretty cool. So let's take a look. I'm going to look at Kdenlive here and show you it here. And let's take a look at Kdenlive running on Ubuntu 20.04. And I'll check and see what that version is while I'm in here for you. And let's just take a look and see. So let's do About Kdenlive. And let's take a look here. 19.12.3. Okay, so I was correct about that. And this is the default theming that it does on Ubuntu. And so if you go in here, you can change this. Like this is the Fusion style. And it looks like, yeah, I was thinking Ubuntu defaulted to that, and they do, which is interesting. So in that case, the default in Fusion is the same, but if you change it to Windows, it looks like it's like Windows 95, and yeah, it's kind of a different look. The other thing you can change, I'll set that back. Did it not do it? Okay. There, I'll set it back to Fusion because it's now acting like default. Let's try default now. Okay. I think it was just being delayed. But anyway, let's check the colors. Huh. Normally, there's like color themes in here where you can theme it. But they don't have that in here. So that's interesting. If we run the configuration wizard, codecs haven't updated. Everything seems fine. Interesting. So they've got hardware acceleration in here. And obviously this is a VM, so it's not going to find anything. But I'm going to have to try this on hardware and check this out. I know this is not supposed to be about Kdenlive, but just thought I'd check that out a little bit here. So let's take a look. Let's see what Firefox that they've got right now that's pre-shipped here. Again, LibreOffice and things like that. Thunderbird is not installed with the minimal install, as you can see. It's very minimal. This is the default desktop environment, but or not desktop environment, the default desktop background. But you can change that, of course. And let's see here. So this is Firefox. Let's come in here. And let's see. I think is it under Help? I don't use Firefox very much, everybody. About, here we go. Firefox 75. And if memory serves, I think that's the latest. And they looks like here that they are shipping, looks like their customized version. The Canonical usually does that with Ubuntu. The Linux distros do that too. So nothing really out of the ordinary there. Let's take a look around at all the settings real quick while we're in here. And let's take a look at those. We'll go over to the backgrounds here, and I'll take a look at some of those. So they've got some backgrounds here. I can take a look at a few of them here. This is like a picture of a subway station here, and there we go. Nice photo there. Let's take a look at this. This bridge photo looks, oh, that's actually very beautiful. Very beautiful photo, gotta say. I wish I'd taken that. That's very beautiful. I may actually use this particular photo for a little while. I don't know. Let's look at the others. All right. Oh, beautiful photo. So these are some very beautiful photos here. This time they were using, most of these photos are from Unsplash, if I recall correctly. They didn't do a wallpaper contest or anything this time. Interesting. Another nice photo here. So lots of nice photos. I'm sure these was, carefully picked. And here is the photo from about 15 years ago, actually. I wasn't even using Ubuntu when this was around, but some of you old-timers in the Linux world used to use Ubuntu. Probably remember this. So that's the heron background there, the wallpaper. And then, of course, this is the default again. And what's this one? Interesting. Looks like just a different version. This one's kind of cool looking, too. And then this one, if you go to this one, it looks like it. This has got like a time symbol, so it looks like it would be changing over time. So that's interesting. If we go up here, we can start looking around. So this is the networking, and it's automatically detected my network. We got Bluetooth, but there's nothing, Bluetooth in this VM. Again, we already been through most of the appearance stuff, but you can change the dock, so we can do the bottom. We can change it to the right. We can change it to the left, right? We can change to a light theme here. We can change, of course, back to the standard theme like I was showing earlier. And again, I know I'm repeating myself, but just thought I'd go over that again. You can change the icon size. That's pretty nice. Let's just leave it right there. It's a little bit smaller, I think. And we'll just, let's see, let's try the auto hiding. And it looks like, so this is when like a window overlaps with it. Yep. Interesting. No animation. I wonder if that's because it's in the VM. Let me see here. There might be a setting for that. Let's look at notifications. So pretty standard settings here. Most of these seem pretty similar to Ubuntu 16.04, but again, a few things have changed, like the wallpapers, your default applications here and everything. So, and that's interesting. So this is interesting. We can go into the privacy. You can turn on connectivity checking. You can turn on and off location services. So you can turn that on, and this allows applications to know, where you are for like weather and different things. Thunderbolt, I don't have any Thunderbolt in here. Again, file history and different things like that. You can change these settings here. Screen lock settings, so when do you want to turn the screen off and lock the system and everything. Defaults to 5 minutes. You can change that, of course. Diagnostics, do you want to send your error reports to canonical? Defaults to manual. You can change it to automatic or never. We can leave that at manual here for this VM. All right, let's keep on going. We can look at online accounts. Again, most of this stuff's pretty standard. Sharing. Let's see, media sharing. If I'll have to turn it on up here. Media sharing, and I can share different media. Interesting. And I'm assuming that this would be like a Samba share, so that way that Windows users and stuff could see it as you would expect. Over here, we've got audio settings, and there you go. Looks like these are all settings coming from the VM, and nothing's really passing, but that's fine. Then you've got settings down here, and so that's interesting. Automatic suspend, so this is the power stuff, so we can turn this on. So like say why idle, you could change this after an hour, it will suspend. So some people might want that. Display settings, again, pretty standard stuff, 1920 by 1080 here, 60 hertz, right? So there you go. You can change the scaling here. This is really good for those people that have 4K from what I've heard, monitors and stuff. So I don't have any 4K monitors handy, so obviously this isn't something I can really test for you. But from what I've heard, it seems like that this is good. This was also somewhat there from what I remember in 1804, but probably improved it some since then. Mouse settings, of course, you can change different things in here. So pretty simple stuff. Probably not going to go over all of this, but if we come down to the About settings, you can see different device information, and we can change the device name. Tells us 2.9 gigs of RAM, like I said, about 3 gigs here. All right, and i5 is being emulated here, which is actually what's in my system too, so it's probably just actually passing that information. 64 gigs virtual drive. So yeah, there you go. Looks pretty good. Looks like we can do software updates from right in here. And I do see we're running 3.36 for our GNOME version, so that's nice. Here's our software settings, and you can see everything that's on here. I did enable, or no, I did not enable, I don't believe, actually, the settings for proprietary stuff, proprietary drivers and like media drivers and stuff in Ubuntu, I don't believe. And there's nothing in here anyway. Let's see, live patch. So again, most of this stuff was already here. You'll notice their cursor's changed a little bit when it spins. If I can get it to spin somehow. Maybe if I open this app. Yeah, there it goes. See, it spins. That spinning animation is a little different than it used to be. And so that's a change. And so that's something different for you. But I actually, at first, I didn't really like that change, but now I'm actually getting used to it. Kind of reminds me a little bit of the KDE mouse. Not exactly, like this isn't, like the actual mouse right now doesn't look like it, but if you do this and stuff like that, it kind of looks similar to the way KDE does it, or if it's scrolling or rotating there, like the animation kind of looks like KDE. So let's see, we can look in the keyboard shortcuts, and okay, so this is just for that application. Interesting. I wonder, let's see, I'm sure Control Alt T works, and it opened it up on my actual system there. So yeah, I guess I can't get it to pass to the VM. Let's see if I can get it to pass. There we go. Now it passed. And so, yeah, that does work. All right, great. So there you go, everybody. Looks like you can do that. Got KDE Connect. I don't have a phone to plug in here right now handy, but here's KDE Connect. This is a thing you can use to connect to your Android phone. And so that's pretty cool. So you might want to check out that. Let's see, what else? Let's check for any software updates. Let's do that. And, oh, no, this isn't what I thought it was. I thought this was the updater. So let's just go software updater. Yeah, this is what I thought I opened before, everybody here. So let's check using the GUI if there's any updates. Obviously, I could always do this using the apt command from the command line, which is normally the way I do this, but it's not as visual, so we'll check out this. Also not always as handy, depending on your skill set and whether you're familiar with the command line. So we do have 3 updates here, so we can go ahead and install that. I'll just click install now on that, and here we go. I'm going to go ahead and install. So there we go, installing away. They got the help application here. We can take a look at that. So hopefully this video is interesting to you while we're all in quarantine here. I know it's you know, a very strange time in the world. So let's see here. Let's look at the keyboard shortcuts. That would be useful. I do like using the keyboard on Ubuntu. All right, and yeah, it looks like it's got a lot of shortcuts in here. A lot of these look familiar. I don't think that they've changed. Maybe they've added a few. I don't use all these shortcuts, so from memory it'd be hard for me to remember if that they're all old or not. But very nice that they have that command, or not command, Control-Alt-T. So keep saying command here, everybody. I haven't used a Mac in a long time. Used a VM occasionally for software development, but for some reason tonight I keep wanting to say command. So anyway, but it seems pretty interesting. Let's look at power statistics here. All right, so this tells you different things about your power, obviously. And I'm assuming if this was on a laptop, it would give us information about the battery. Obviously, we don't have that here. So there you go. Seems like a pretty cool OS, I gotta say. May end up making the switch. You can always come in here if you have drivers and do additional drivers, everybody. And then that will bring up this screen. And so that's good for you new Ubuntu users. I'll probably do a video showing how to upgrade or something in the future. And you can see here I can come in and do the VirtualBox drivers here. And so looks like that this device is not working. Continue using the manually installed driver. So they shipped this with Ubuntu, but it's yelling at me. So it's working fine, but I suppose if you're running this in a VM, maybe you'd want to make that move. I wonder what the difference between this version of KDE Connect and this is. I guess maybe like one's to sync media or contacts and the other's for SMS, because the second one says SMS. And yeah, let's see. Instant messaging. Obviously, let's take a look at about. All right, there's the offers there. GPL version 3. Interesting. So yeah, but I think that pretty much wraps up everything I want to say about Ubuntu 2004. I don't know for sure if I'm going to make the move to it. My biggest thing is the thing with snaps, but we'll see. Let's see what the system usage is real quick here, actually, and take a look at that. So you can see all the processes going there. And if I switch over to resources, all right, so let's take a look here. So it's got 1 CPU core. I've assigned it. Should have assigned it 2. That's normally what I do, but oops, forgot to do that. 1.4 gigs of RAM out of the 2.9 I give it. 1.5 gigs of cache in here, so 47% of the RAM used. So this is running pretty good here by my standards. I mean, this is GNOME, and it definitely takes up pretty decent chunk of RAM. So this is, by my definition, pretty reasonable. Swap 2.5 megs out of 2 gigs of swap that it's auto-assigned. I didn't do anything here, so it created the swap file on its own, and did not at any point here did I, during the install, did I tell it to change this. So it defaulted to 2 gigs of RAM for the amount of RAM that I set up. So, and it seems like it's running pretty good with that. We can take a look here. This is the file system and everything. But yeah, I think that covers the video. Let's just see here. GNOME Shell specifically is using 302.6 megs of RAM as of right now. So very interesting. That doesn't really seem like very much RAM at all. And so, of course, GNOME does split it into different amounts here and there, so I'd have to add all these up to get the total, but clearly GNOME seems to be running pretty efficiently here, and we can see the Snap Store running down here. Xorg, that's the other thing I wanted to mention here while I'm thinking about it. Xorg, they're still using Xorg here, so that's nice. Personally, I like Xorg. Wayland, sorry, I just don't think it's ready for prime time. Has too many issues in my opinion. Thanks for watching the video. Hope you found some information in the video useful, and hope you're staying sane out there. Thanks so much. Stay safe, and I'll see you next time.